The next step for the WPAP will be in Illustrator, so make sure that you open your image in Illustrator instead of Photoshop. And starting out, I would zoom in and choose one area to begin with. So I'm going to zoom in around the nose and the eyes over here. While you're doing this, you're going to be using your pen tool, and instead of creating triangular shapes like what we do with the low poly version, you're going to be creating more geometric, boxy rectangular shapes. So I'm going to start out and try and find those areas that are a lot darker. Now right away you'll notice that this white fill is showing up. You can close or get rid of that. You can also change the color of your stroke to maybe make it stand out a little bit more. So I'll choose a really blue color, help it stand out. And then I'm going to continue and go around this really dark shape here. Now you won't necessarily want this entire area to be one shape, so when you finish going around this, you can begin to intersect, overlap, and just create some different sections within this one area. And this kind of goes into the eyebrow bit, so I'll outline that and close my shape. Always make sure that you close your shapes. You don't want an area to start maybe here and then stop, because that way when you go to fill that color in, you're going to have a lot of extra space that's going to fill everything else in that's not connected. So you always want to connect your shapes, overlap them, just make sure again that they're closed and there's no open shapes. I'm going to move into this lighter section here, and with this version of the project you always kind of want to overlap a little bit to create a little bit of interest and some different lines. I'm overlapping here where the different grays go. Can go back to close my shape, so now I have a little bit of interest, some different shapes here, but they're all still, whatever is within that shape is the same value. So I don't want a lot of really bright values in this shape that has those darker values. When I go to add to a path, you might be clicking on an anchor point. If the minus button comes up, you need to hold down Shift. That way it allows you to add to that anchor instead of getting rid of it. But I'm going to continue on and go around this dark gray here, kind of overlaps this space, comes down and around. I'm going to overlap that shape again and continue. So again, just trying to create a lot of that overlap will create more interest within your image. Come around the eyebrow and I'll close my shape with that one. If you close your shape on another shape, so if you connect one shape and you're meeting the edge of a second shape, you can hit enter to get rid of the path. So that will automatically stop the shape, allow you to move on to another one. So I would continue and just do this for a while. Keep adding your shapes, continue to overlap specific areas. Now a lot of this section here is gray as well, this light gray value, so that you'll definitely want to break that up eventually. So I might just go completely over this to outline my highlight on the cheek. And again, I'm trying to keep it kind of boxy, rectangular. When I outline this highlight, and I'm trying to close the shape, this minus comes up. So again, hold down Shift and you can close your shape, hit enter if you want to move on to somewhere else, or maybe intersect and cross over that shape. You can outline and continue down around the jawline where it might be a little bit darker. And I'll go around that shape, that medium gray. When you get to the eye, make sure that you're not just outlining around this line, for example. You want to outline the entire shape, so that value change. So I'm going to go on the top of that dark space, maybe jump across here, and then go underneath that dark space as well. So try your best to break it up into sections and not just lines. So do this for a while, break up your shapes a bit, your value changes. and then we'll go back and begin to add color as soon as you finish practicing overlapping your shapes and creating that outline for your value change.